All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Rigo Rockstar Goblin, Alex, 6 Ballers, Eduardo, Nathan, Goblin, Port City. All right, here we are. We haven't finished Mr. Hassan's shipping, so I'm sure he's curious about that. I'm going to try and do that today and get that shipping picked up on Saturday. Let's see. Gonna hit save on that real fast. I thought Mr. died. No, I didn't die. What should today's stream say? I wish I had a jokey title to put in. What's the funniest thing going on in real time? No, I don't have anything. How about, nah, I can't think of anything. Let's go ahead and go with the normal title. All right. Hot Friday Pokemon cards. Pricing up new slabs. Card market on fire. Live card shop. All right, we got all the same stuff as we did yesterday. Nothing, well, no, PBR01 arrived. Maybe I should say that. Japanese PBR01 restock. Live card shop. So PBR01 is here. Did I already price that ahead of time? Oh, it looks like it's just still on the menu. So PBR01 is here and it's ready to go. Good. All right. Looks like I never took it down. That's so funny. All right. So Mr. made it out alive 2024 after his Pokemon card drawing said TCC would die in 2024. Did it? Did I have a Pokemon card that say that? I don't remember that. We're going live for Friday daytime. Let's ping the Discord server. Sorry about being so late, guys. All right, what do we got? Clicking some items. Oh. Oh, man. There we go. I should have eaten something. All right. And what's this? All right, give me a second. This guy wants his tracking number. Plane crash in Philly. Was there really? There was a plane crash in Philadelphia? All right. Ping ping, your Desk Labs card drawing had a tombstone with TCC 2024. Oh, yes. Wait, I typed in Joseph Jones. What was I looking for? Is it Joseph Johnson? Joseph John Johnson. Let's see if that's his name. No. God, this is so annoying. A guy bought 25 PSA displays from me, right? And he wants his damn tracking number. It's like, it's on the way, dude. I promise it's on the way. You don't need the tracking. But I added his email, so he should just be able to check his freaking emails. And, you know, because I actually had that guy's email. 100% had his email. So he's just not looking it up or something. I told him to check the spam folder. He's like, can you just send it to me? I don't know. I don't know if it didn't show up. That's not a thing. Nobody has that problem. So I don't know why he can't find it in his email. But now I gotta go find this guy. He's not a guy who normally buys from me. He's a guy who he found me through eBay, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I don't know his PayPal name is the problem. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to ask him what his goddamn PayPal name is. Oh, I'm gonna go ask him. All right. Basically, we're just wasting time. The item's on the way, but he wants the tracking, so I better get him the tracking. All right. So jumping over here, we have Mr. Campos. I found the galley. The sleeves were perfectly stuck to each other. Thanks for checking. No problem, Mr. Roel Campos. I'm glad that turned out that way. Mr. Jeff Leon says 8 Nikkei, 8 SAO, 5 English Azure, 5 Chainsaw English. All right, so but before we do that, and I don't want to annoy you, but before we do that, you had a couple of e-checks that did not go through. And actually, this order here, Mr. Jeff, is a pending order as well. So we better not open it this time, because last time those e-checks bounced. So I don't know if they bounced or what it, maybe your bank didn't communicate with my bank or whatever it is. But let me go through. We're going to get this sorted real fast. Give me a moment here. In the past, I wouldn't have caught this because I didn't understand pending orders in the past. But this time, I understand it. All right, we're going to go look up all Mr. Jeff's stuff. All right. So it says you have 2 pending orders. Okay, so a bunch of your pending orders cleared, but then some of them got canceled. So I don't understand exactly how that works. I'm going to go add up the canceled ones right now, okay? Give me a second. It's kind of annoying. It's probably just some bank thing. All right. Because some of them are clearing, so I don't understand it. And then some of them are not. All right, I've added the canceled ones have been added up. Give me a moment here. Jeff Leon. And you have a minus $165 thingamabob going on. Additionally, you also have 2 orders from today that are both pending, and I think that they should be held off on until they clear. So this one's going to say 161 pending and 70 pending. All right, so both of those are pending. So there's something going on between your bank and PayPal where $165 worth of orders did not clear. And then these are pending rather than, so they're e-checks is what they are, which means your bank's probably sending money over to your PayPal account. But the rule is we don't open pending orders. So I would open pending orders for you, though, but that's what I did with these. These were pending, and I just serviced them, but these haven't cleared yet. So I say we figure this out first, and then after that's figured it out, we take care of all this. Sound good? Check Discord. Oh, let me check Discord. All right, let's see. I talked to PP. It's your bank. My bank? Nah, dude, I get orders from like thousands of people. I promise you it's not my bank. If the money's going to PayPal, then it's PayPal saying it's my PayPal? We are. Did you have time to do research on the cards? I'm so sorry, 6. I actually did not. We are. All right. So a pending order just means it's money going from your bank to PayPal. And you're saying PayPal saying I have a problem with my account? I mean, I think I serviced $30,000 in a week. And so this is the only pending order. We are. Did you have time to research on the cards? PayPal might not be telling you what's going on, is what I'm betting, if they said that. Because my account's working very well. Reverse Uno. Mr. Kid's pissed when he has to work more than what is needed. Wow, oh, the tracking numbers, dude. The tracking numbers kill me, dude. Can I get the tracking for that? No. Tracking numbers kill me. It's like, it's on the way. But here's what's annoying is he did get the tracking. I sent him the tracking because I took his email and I added it to the automatic tracking system. Maybe his email really did block it. I don't know. I guess it's possible, But he probably can't find it. Did the other PayPal orders go through? Oh yeah, virtually every PayPal order is going through. It's definitely. I don't know what it is. I don't understand the mechanisms. But PP can only tell me all the money has been received by them and was sent to you. No, I can. Hold on. Let me send you a picture. Hold on. Give me a second, Jeff. I'll start sending you pictures. They can't tell me anything beyond that. So those 2 are pending. And then we got these canceled orders. I don't know what's going on. It's that one's pending too. There's actually an additional pending order. So when you see the word cleared, it means that particular order was also in an e-check, but it actually went through. So I don't know what that means. There you go. Okay, I sent you some pictures. All right, let's get to the next order real fast. So we'll have that. Tell you what I can do for you though, Jeff. Here's what we can do, because I can tell you're probably real interested in this particular order. So what I can do for you, grab this real fast. What I can do for you is we can. Why don't I go ahead and set up your cards so that it's as if you got the ones you would have gotten in that order. How does that sound? So let's do that real fast, because I know you'll appreciate that. So this first order is 1 Prismatic, 6 Battle Partner, 3 Azure. So we'll grab those real fast. All right, so we can get things moving. Ugh. Oops. Checks can't be processed on Friday to Sunday. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we are. Yeah, you know, banks, they got all these rules, man. I'm sure it's nothing. It's just the banks. But so what we can do is we can set these up real nice. That way, whatever you were going to pull, you definitely pull them when it clears. And this is like keeping your spot in line. Here we are. So 3 Azures. So you get these exact packs. And then that's one of the orders. Let me get the other one too. Sound good? That's a good workaround for this particular thing. Go. And so the other order was, so it's 8 Nikkei. 8 Nikkei. Here they are. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these 7 go this way. Honey and peanut butter. Maybe that girl is a chubby chaser. I gotta eat 8 whites and oatmeal for breakfast. No! Are we getting a Saturday morning stream? Probably not. So I haven't mentioned this, but Karis's parents are actually over. So that is part of why we started so late, because I didn't get to wake up when I would have liked to have waked up. I kind of slept in until they were out of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so there's those. 5 Chainsaw Man. Okay, we got 1 Chainsaw Man. Here we are. Here's some more Chainsaw Man. How you guys doing? Happy Friday, by the way. Welcome. Welcome to our Pokemon stream. I want a 2-hour stream with quips. Surprise. Ooh, this is Mr. PDX. Hey! Now, she's going to be hanging out with her parents tomorrow morning. You can't boo that. What kind of boo is that? Excuse me. So, 8 Nikkei, 8 SAO, 5 Azure Volume 2. So, you would just give 5 more of these then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. All right. So for all you know, these probably all contain a big signature in them. So there we have it. We got all, wait, how many of the SAO? We got 5 of the SAO. We need to get another box of SAO. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a minute. Ugh. All right. Whew. Has the lightning signature been pulled yet? Haven't seen a clip. Nope. Has not been pulled. There we go. Okay. So 3 more of these. Here you go. All right. So Karis and her family are already back from their outing. They were out. So now they are back. So I'm going to be a little quieter. All right, so now we're going to baggie these up and set them to the side. Actually, I might be able to just do this. Okay, it's all locked and loaded. Perfect. So now, Jeff, you'll get exactly your order, uninterrupted. Ta-da! Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's probably something with the banks. All right. good. Did they have fun looking at trees? I don't know what they did. They probably went out to eat. There we go. All right. Okay. Give it a second. All right. So now we have Mr. Brandon, 2 Azure Lane boxes. I have to stand up and get some Azure Lane boxes. Let's grab some more. Okay. Have you told her parents you guys are moving and selling everything off? No, because we haven't actually decided where to move to, but they're aware that we are interested in potentially moving to a new state. Here we are. All right. Okay. Appreciate it, mister. No problem. We appreciate you too, Mr. Jeff. Jeff, this actually happens like every now and then. It's not actually that, unusual. There we go. The whole PayPal thing. Usually it means an e-check. Toss this over here. And grab that. All right. So Mr. Brandon's here. So Brandon, I have shipped your items and then I ran into the Diglett slab. So the Diglett slab's still over here. But you're getting a nice signature card with your shipment anyways. Meaning I signed a little card for you. And I wrote you a little letter too. So you get a little letter and you get a little signature card. How nice is that? Let's grab this. All right. Ready? Another hand review. You got to buy that Barbie dream house. Yeah. Malibu beach house. Malibu Barbie. Now I looked at those Malibu beach houses and they're all like $14, $15 million. Could you imagine the property taxes on that alone? Unbelievably expensive. All right. Yo, how's it going, Kite family? What's up, guys? This is our short daytime stream. As opposed to an e-chick. E-chicks are way hotter. 24-minute stream? You going past 7. We're going to go past 7. We're going to go past 7. There we go. All right. We usually have an hour daytime stream where I catch the people up with like the news or whatever came in the mail. Today, not much came in the mail. Not much came in the mail. I was hoping that the new Magic set and the EB2 would come in the mail, and it did not. So we're hoping now for a Saturday delivery. Again, the EB2 would have actually been here already, except that the guy who sold it to me, he shipped it to California by accident. So it's coming from California to middle of nowhere, Missouri, so it's just taking a while. We are? Oh. Okay. Let's turn this down a little bit. Azure Lane and fish tacos? 20 years behind the times, but I guess I'll be hunting fish tacos. Here's a Holo. Elon's going to buy all that burnt land and turn it into a water park. Yeah? Anything going on in the news today? I didn't get a chance to check the news. I think Mike's side mentioned an airplane went down in Philadelphia. It wasn't a big airliner, right? I feel like if it was, you would all be talking about it. Well, shucks. I ain't never seen so many dang. How will Pokemon cards do during a man-made recession? If we do have a recession, I expect Pokemon card prices to dip somewhat. People will be selling their collections off. Sales will probably slow down. And I'll just be continuing to buy. That's it. That's it. Because the fundamental idea of the cards doesn't change. Even when the economy is bad, it doesn't change. Meaning, wow. Meaning next time it's good again. Look at that card. She's playing volleyball, but she got a little sea star stuck on her butt. Jesus, dude. That's crazy. Wow, man. Azure Lane, everybody. Mister, you going to check Discord? Is there something to check in Discord? Hold on. Oh, yes. You got something in Discord. Bump, bump, bump. Oh, you are asking for a black label You got any pricey Blastoise? If not, maybe I'm aiming for my first. So the only thing I can think of when it comes to Blastoise that comes to mind immediately is I do have a double Blastoise. So where is it? I have a double Blastoise poker set somewhere. So where it's both the red and the green version of the Blastoise card. That's the only thing I can think of. Have you seen that on the table already? You are? Oh. Just your average bunny girl. Here it is. Sea star, starfish. Starfish, yes. That has to be a clip. Alex Jones explaining the helicopter crash. I've seen the helicopter crash many times. I feel like if I was told it was a suicide attempt, I would probably believe it. Because it's like, how do you not see the incoming airplane? It's so obvious. And it looks like it flies straight towards it. Like as if it was trying to get into a wreck. Here's the bunny girl. Yeah, if you told me that the airline pilot had decided to commit unalive that day by flying the plane to another plane, I would not be surprised. And I guess no one would necessarily know that unless that person left behind a note. Yeah, it looked a lot like it was intentional. Here we are. Here's... How could you miss another airplane in the air like that? Unless you're like looking away for a long time, like if you're flying straight and not looking where you're flying. Also, how didn't the comm tower say, yo, you're going to collide with that other airplane if you're not careful? Be like, you're in the, you need to say something like, you're in the direct flight path of another plane. You need to change direction. All right, and there we have it. No signatures popping out of that particular round. Trump went ahead with the tariffs. Thoughts? I also heard him say that he plans on doing a tariff on Europe. I think Trump's basically saying the United States in general is just a tariff country now. If you sell us goods, you have to pay a fee to sell us goods. The reason that I don't think this is as crazy as anyone thinks, we're not used to things changing, and when things change too fast, we get scared. You guys realize Europe does that exact same thing to us, right? So when I send stuff to France, there's an import fee of about 23%. You guys realize that, right? So if Trump said, well, we're going to have an import fee of 25%, it would just make us on par with them. It wouldn't make anything uneven at all. We'd just be on par. So this idea like Trump started the trade war, no, Europe started the trade war when they did a 25% tariff on us. Because they don't want us selling them anything. They just want to sell stuff to us. So I think you have to be able to reframe what's going on here. People are acting like Trump's going around bullying Europe or bullying Canada or bullying Mexico. There's a tariff when we sell stuff to Canada. The reason it costs so much for me to export cards to Canada is because when I ship you the card, not only is the shipping fee unbelievably high, you then have to pay an import fee when the cards cross the border. Why don't we do this back to them? It makes no sense. I don't understand why they get to do it to us and we don't do it back. They started the trade war. They started the trade war when they said, when America sells us stuff, we have to tax it at this really high rate. I can actually look it up for you. Let's see. Let's turn the volume down. Yeah, did you guys know about this? What's the import fee? Wait, let me use Chat GPT. What's the import fee from USA to Canada on Pokemon cards? Now, this is Pokemon cards. I don't know about everything else. Okay. Let's see. So, it says it's 13 to 15% and a 5% fee that applies nationwide. Oh, okay, I see. It's like there's 3 different tax rates, 5%, 15%, and 10%. And then there's also a flat rate fee of like $10. To avoid extra fees, some buyers request that the sellers mark the package as a gift or low-value item. But this has risks if customs inspects it. So there you go. So we pay a tax just to sell stuff to Canada. They do it to us already. Now we're doing it back, essentially. And, and it's treated like we're the bad guys starting a trade war. Mr. Brandon, let's grab you a fresh box. Wait, you don't need a fresh box. Let's get you a fresh bag. Go. All the corps and companies importing all these goods will just increase the price and the common consumer pays more now. Yeah, so that's the assumption. So the other way it could go is that those corporations would just have to make less profits. So the idea is that they can indefinitely raise the price on their goods is wrong. What happens is as the price of goods go up, people actually buy less of it. And so they will have to adjust their supply-demand equilibrium, right? So there's the equilibrium where as the price goes up, the demand goes down, right? You know what I'm talking about? So price goes up and then demand goes down, right? So just because they would like to raise the price doesn't mean they necessarily can, because demand might sharply fall on certain products as the price starts to rise. And for them, they will lose more money raising the price than they will just losing the money on the tariff, right? Right, like if you want to buy a box of cookies, but it's a $500 box of cookies because of tariffs, you're just not going to buy the cookies anymore. You're going to say, F those cookies, I ain't buying that. That's how it really works. So they might have to accept lower profits. But yeah, also some price will probably rise too. The companies will have to accept lower profits, and the customers may have to accept higher prices. It's essentially a tax on us too. So I would agree with that. However, it also means companies that open a cookie-making factory here in America pay no taxes, and their profit margins are very, very good because now they don't have to compete with the cheap labor cookies across the border. See what I'm saying? So the cost of cookies could go up. There could also be this effect where now we process the cookies, we manufacture them, and this means more high-paying jobs here in America because as the number of jobs increases, the labor pool is shrinking because Trump's kicking people out. So he's kicking people out. He's bringing jobs in. The balance of wages goes up overall because now the employers can't find enough people to work these jobs. They go, we need a worker. We don't have a worker. Yeah, because you have to raise your wages. You don't pay enough. No one wants to do the cookie packing. You have to raise wages to find a worker. So as the labor market shrinks and the jobs increase, the wages rise. Now, I don't know if overall this is a good thing. This is Trump's experiment. He thinks it's going to work. All right. Thank you, Mr. Brandon. Let's keep going. Travis Gomez, slab away for the Nido King. Ooh, the Nido King is gone. Okay. Very good. Where'd that one go? That did not last very long at all. So what I would suggest to people is that B-drill might be next. And honestly, I really don't think the B-drill should just be 200. I thought the B-drill is really nice. I'm going to set let's leave him alone. B-drill at 200. I don't like the price on that one. I think the price is too low. All right, Travis. You have TikTok on your phone? Yes, I do. So the idea that the tariffs will strictly fail, I think that the tariffs are not really good for free trade amongst countries. Right? Like the original idea of trade is everyone trades their best thing. And so because we trade our best thing that we're most efficient at, everyone becomes wealthier. We are? All right. That's the invisible hand of the free market, right? Everyone just trades whatever they're best at. All right. And Trump's saying, no, we're not going to do that. What's going to happen actually is the government's going to tax stuff that you're good at making. We are. In other words, Democrats should actually love Donald Trump because he's more like a Democrat on that subject. Democrats are the ones who implement tariffs. Republicans are supposed to be about free trade. So if a Democrat was doing this, you'd all be clapping. You'd be like, yeah, of course we should be collecting taxes. And this is $280 going down to $260. Thank you so much, Mr. Travis. Did you see how fast Columbia folded? All right, let me go put this over here. Okay, good. Ta-da! I think he said that Diglett wasn't sent out. Yeah, the Diglett, I packed your bag, but I hadn't put the Diglett in because the Diglett, that doesn't sound right, because the Diglett was still in the ship pile from over here. So usually what happens is it all gets sent off to Alexis at the same time. She wouldn't have missed that, but I missed it. And I said, I'll let it through because he'll probably get a new round of cards in no time and we'll just ship the Diglett out. I didn't want to cut your box back open. It was so nicely packed. But you are getting a nice signature Dusclops. I put in a signature Dusclops for you, okay? So you're going to get that. And I put in a nice little note for you because you said you wanted a letter. So you're getting those along with your really lovely BGS signature card. Zachary Stekowski, one prismatic, one Star Wars Galaxy Chrome. All right. I've been aware of the other side of things, but the corp's taking less profits or having to invest more in U.S. infrastructure is asking a lot from them. No, I don't think that's asking a lot from them necessarily, but the question is what stimulates growth more? That's all. Okay, ready? All right. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if a Democrat came out and said, we're raising taxes on the billionaire class, everyone would clap and be like, yay, we did it. We raised taxes on the rich. But if Trump comes out and he says, I am going to tax imports, for example, all the garbage that Walmart imports every single day, everyone's like, oh no, that'll get passed off onto the consumer. So it's very, to me, it's very, very stupid. Like, wow. It just shows you most voters don't have a clue. They really don't. They don't have a clue. Because they were for the liberals raising corporate, tax rates. So Walmart would pay more taxes. They're for that. But if Walmart had to pay more taxes on its inventory, that's bad. That'll raise the price of goods. So, congratulations. You look like you have no clue what you're talking about. Here's number 175, Trouble on Tatooine. Ooh, taxing corporations, good. But also, taxing corporations' inventory, bad. That'll raise the price for the consumer. We are. Crazy talk, man. Just really crazy. All right. Ooh. Here's this. Loki call me stupid. Yeah, why the hell are you so stupid, bro? God, this bro's stupid as hell, man. No, I'm not trying to beat up on you specifically. But when I go online to like all these, chat sections where people are talking about it, it's ironic that there's so much sort of blind, whatever the sound chickens makes. High taxes. It's so bad. It's surprising to hear all the Democrats flip sides and be anti-tax. Hey, you're like me now. Welcome. You hate taxes. I hate taxes. We're on the same team now. Yeah, taxes are bad. Taxes just give money to the government, don't they? Yeah, it's an artificial thing, isn't it? You hate taxes. I hate taxes. We're on the same team now. But all that had to happen was somebody you don't like had to implement the tax. So now it's bad, right? So I find that annoying. It's almost sort of disingenuousness because my position on taxation never really changed. I never liked the taxes to begin with. But if you're a Democrat and now you're against the tax, I find that to be a bit disingenuous because you were very much for the tax beforehand. But the taxes will raise the price of goods, you think? That might be exactly what taxes always does. Here we go. All right. Ooh. How can you be for like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren? And oh man, she's shocking to listen to, man. I can't believe she's got power in this country. It's like listening to an angry grandma shout. It's like, man, dude, why don't you just go home and bake cookies or something? Jesus Christ, man. So she could get real angry. She could be like, oh, yeah, well, you're accepting money from the corporations. She's real mad about corporations. Robert Trebleco paying $20 on my poker gym leader slab away. You got it, Robert. Mr. Robert. Let's see. This goes from 69 to 49. She's the most powerful woman in America. Here's 2 Chinese Hidden Fates 2 Japanese wives Nikkei. We are. I don't understand how people keep voting for her. Let's see. I think it's over here. When I see her, I think this is it. This is why we're a receding country. Because we like grandma. Grandma's got the reins. Why do we let grandma have the reins? When was that a thing? If we could just have grandma direct the country. Grandma, go home and bake cookies or something. Yeah, well, yeah, but this. All right, you ready? I know, I'm just saying all the offensive stuff right now, by the way. If you guys haven't caught on to that. Just saying all the offensive stuff. Okay. Tell us how you really feel. Ooh. I too hate taxes, especially when I see how little I actually take home, only for it to be wasted on BS. Exactly, because the government gets that money and they just spend it on everything you don't care about. That's exactly right. You're just a slave for the government. When you take home more of your own money, it's a good thing. All right. But yeah, so that the these big tariffs, that's a tax on corporations. If you guys didn't know that, if Republicans, and that's another hypocrisy, by the way, all the Republicans flipping and they're like, this is great. This is great. We love taxes. Tariffs are good. So it's like, well, you were against taxes like 2 seconds ago. Now you love them. And the Democrats, they love taxes and now they hate them. So it's politics. It's just politics. Ooh. Just a different kind of tax doing the same thing. When you tax Walmart's inventory, you're taxing Walmart. There we go. All right. Now Walmart has to pay a higher price for the same inventory. That's a tax on Walmart. Ooh. It's just that Trump's managing to get a tax passed and everyone's like, oh, yay, he did it. It's a good thing. All right. Robert Trebleco. Ooh, Robert reading. Take my money. And then Walmart just passes that onto the consumer. Well, Walmart might also, like I said, Walmart might also have to make less money. So the idea that it strictly passes it off to the consumer, that's what I'm trying. I said this earlier. You're making the same argument that the Republicans would make. When Democrats say, hey, let's raise the taxes, the Republicans respond with, if you raise taxes on corporations, they will just pass that off to the consumer. So it's so funny seeing the team switch. Now the Democrats sound like, Republican talking heads, NPCs, and now the Republicans sound like Democrat NPCs. No, the tax is good. The tax is good. It's really good, actually. We love it. So, we are. LMAO, the message he reads. What did you say, Mr. Marco? Marco says, read NHCC's message. Mister, there a way to see more pricey slabs? Take my money. Where's that Blastoise? Oh, did we take it down? The Blastoise is already down then, huh? No, there's not a way to see more pricey slabs, just these ones on the table. We got the pricey slabs channel in Discord, obviously. Here's one, like this Claydol. Ooh. We'll have more pricey slabs, I promise. Probably tonight. Oh, here's the Evolutions break. Sounds like you're looking for a slab away. Here's Jigglypuff. Here's Onyx. That ain't pricey enough. I own this already. There's a Cardos $3,200 Gengar Holo. If it's not in the pricey slabs channel, then it's not for sale. We are. So all of the pricey slabs came down. As a result of the PokeBoom, I pulled them all down. All right. Ooh, John Lucas is back. What's up, John Lucas? Hey, mister, it's been a while. Can I get 4 Azure Lane booster boxes and shipping? I should have some cards in the Cool Kid box, if memory serves. It's John Lucas. What's up, John Lucas? It's nice to see you. Let's go grab 4 boxes of Azure Lane for you. All right, he's back. He's ready to get nasty. Ta-da! Signature coming out now. There's a Cardos Gengar secret coming out. Okay. Ooh. The only thing that's interesting about Donald Trump's tariffs is how high they are. And I think the way he talks about them, I think the way he makes them sound is he believes America has sort of like a monopoly on consumerism. And he's saying, I know America has a monopoly on consumerism. We do all the consuming. You all want to sell to us. You don't want to buy our stuff. You just want to sell to us. And it says, so from now on, we're bringing in a tax. The other interesting thing about the tariff is it doesn't exist for American companies. So if you manufacture a good over here, no tariff. All right, here goes. So that is what's fascinating about it. Changes the incentives around the world. It says, we're here for American jobs and American manufacturing, not for manufacturing in China. China, our big competitor. All right. Not gonna lie, I thought Trump was going to come in and lower grocery prices. So a lot of people have been saying that. He's been in power for, 10 days? So I think he's only been in power for 10 days. And we'll see what happens. We don't know. He actually said the entire time he campaigned that he wants to do tariffs. So he is doing what he said he would do. All right, that's number 1. I don't know what you thought he was going to do, like wave a magic wand and the price of eggs were going to go by half or something like that. 10 days in. Just 10. Here we are. His concepts are to decrease the cost of energy. Here we are. All right. And I guess that's supposed to cheapen food or something like that because farmers use a lot of gas, which I think is true. There you go. All right. Also, if he lowers taxes on farmers, that would also cheapen goods. And so he's talked about getting rid of the income tax and change it into an import-export tariff or something like that. That will also actually affect farmers a lot. So farmers didn't have to pay taxes, and they produce goods in America. They actually farm. So that would also lower the cost of goods. On food, not on other goods, food would get cheaper because the farmers can make the same profit margin. Because they don't have to pay taxes, they can make the same profit margin while lowering prices. So those two things would actually cause food to get cheaper. But again, it's been like 10 days, guys. Like give it more time. We don't know if he might fail. He might not actually manage to get food prices down. Okay. Let's from over here. Yes. I think if he does very well, people are going to love him. I think if he does poorly, people are going to hate him. Like, they're going to really hate him. They're going to be like, this guy is a jerk. And he failed. Kind of like Napoleon, right? The French people loved Napoleon when he was winning. When Napoleon lost, people are like, this guy's insane. Get him out of here. So I think Trump's going to be the same kind of leader. Like, he better win every time at whatever he works on. Because when he loses, it's going to come down so hard on him. And you have to be careful about how you support him. Because if you overly support him, you're going to look really stupid if he fails. And so that's the way I look at it. If you overly support him, you're going to look really foolish if he fails. All right. Kind of like if you supported Joe Biden too much. That looked really, really bad. If you loved Joe Biden, you're not looking like the smartest guy anymore. So we'll see what happens with Trump. One thing's true. His ideas are very different. He's trying big changes. So, and I think you could argue that's what the American people wanted, were large changes. So he's going to try out his experiments, and they're either going to succeed or fail. And we'll just see what happens next. We don't know. Can you do? Oh my God. What is this outfit, dude? She ain't no cop. The no income tax is so crazy. I don't know how the government will keep afloat even with all those cuts. Also, where do the taxes come from? Sales tax? That would limit spending on a lot. So the only way that it makes sense is if he changed the way taxes worked to be an income tax only. I'm sorry, not income tax. Ooh, is this R? Oh, you got a hit. This is for John Lucas. Wedding Girl. So the government can obviously still borrow money if there's no income tax. And the other thing the government can do, the government can tax importing goods. So Trump's saying we could just tax all the importing goods or all the incoming goods, and that just becomes our standard tax method. Now, yes, you will take home a lot more money if you're a hard worker and you earn a lot, but you're also going to pay a lot more when you go buy stuff because all those companies that import goods, their cost of doing business just went up. So since the cost of business went up, they got to increase the price of the good, right? That's what we talk about with the change in prices. By the way, this is a very smart conversation we're having, guys. For those of you who don't get it, if you don't understand how these changes affect the economy, how they affect monetary policy, if you don't understand how they affect investments, you will be sort of like the poor person who gets left behind. If you understand it really sharply and really well, you can create sort of like a master plan to decide how to invest your money. So this is actually really important stuff if you think about it. You know, guys who got rich over the last 50 years, they got super rich because they understood how the money flows. They understood the money like a video game. And because they understood like a video game, they played the game very well. If you don't understand it, you would just be like a typical person being shuffled around and your money getting extracted from the poor to the wealthy. So it's so important that you guys understand some of these ideas and how they affect you and what it means for what your next move should be, right? Like if you're a lawyer and you don't import anything as a lawyer, your paycheck is going way up if Donald Trump gets rid of income tax because you're in that higher tax bracket. You don't import any goods, and now you pay no income taxes. The job of being a lawyer just went way up. So you should be thinking about maybe I should get into law. You know what I mean? So understanding that reshuffling of pay is really important in my opinion. All right, John Lucas. I can technically see Dexter. Invest in Stargate. No, A. Perez, you can't borrow Dexter. I agree these are paradigm-shifting ideas, way outside the box thinking. I give it a lot of credit, way more than the others who literally say they wouldn't change anything. I understand it, but how do you find something like this, though? Change for the sake of change. It's not progress. Let's see. Minister, thoughts on CGC grading over 1,500 fake test cards? Poor CGC. They're never going to live this one down. I don't know. I don't know what happens to CGC next. It'd be interesting if they went out of business, but I don't think they will. I think that their parent company is too wealthy. Oh, wow. John Lucas. So that was box number 2, John Lucas. We're looking for a signature for you, though. So this is box number 3. I thought he ordered 4 boxes. Yo, he did. Hey, what's up, Sumere? All right. So for us, what would be interesting about the tariffs is the cost of getting cards globally could go way up. So what you could do is you could buy a ton of Japanese product ahead of time, like just as much as you can handle. Maybe like the best Japanese product there is. Just buy as much of it as you can. Stack it all up in a corner and then hope that Trump passes the tariff. And once the tariff is passed, 25%, right? You could argue that your Japanese, stack of cases or whatever, singles, slabs, who cares? Your stack is maybe 25% more valuable because it's already over here. You got it in before the taxes. See? So this is why understanding what's going on in the world is essential for building wealth. You have to understand it. You got to know what the next move is. Because if you can just take, I don't know, like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and just increase the value of it by 25% overnight, that's being able to make those kind of moves over and over again. It's like a snowball that gets bigger all the time, right? That's how it works. I've seen it happen to me. I know it's a real thing now. The snowball gets larger every time you make a smart move. You make a smart move and your snowball of wealth is getting larger. It's picking up speed, it's picking up volume, right? Like I chose to stop selling 151 and hold on to my 12 cases of 151, and now it's all triple value. So all I had to do was not sell them. That was like a decision I made, and it was a good one. All right, here goes. Oh, you've got head nurse. Dang, dude. These aren't the nurses I see at the hospital. Different nurses, huh? All right. Are we going to end up like the Japanese yen? So the Japanese yen was printed to death because the Japanese government was having like a debt crisis. I don't think we'll end up like that. We could, though. We're heading in that direction. It just depends. It depends on what happens next. And I would say that Trump hasn't suggested to me that he's going to necessarily cause this. Here we are. All right, what we got? For example, Donald Trump's actually cutting spending significantly, and he's raising taxes. So that would suggest we will not have an increase in the debt crisis. If he cuts government spending and then increases government taxes, that should fix it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do precisely that. Yeah, government has a spending problem. That's the number one problem, is the spending problem. Here we are. All right. And he wants to raise taxes with export and import fees. Ooh. Very nice. And then he wants to bring the manufacturing back over to America, too. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Here we are. All right. He wants to get rid of drugs. Drugs are an economic cost to our country that is unbelievable. The amount of damage that they do. All right, John Lucas, that is, that's not box number 4, is it? That's box number 3, isn't it? I think that's box number 3, isn't it? I have no income tax. I'm making bank, but many people will struggle. We got 1, 2, 3. So we need one more box for our friend John Lucas. Such a big order. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, last chance for a Siggy, and if no Siggy pops out of here, I'm gonna make a prediction that people are gonna want more Azure Lane. Oh, that's right, Valentine's Day is soon. Oh no. Yep. Currently, the tariffs are on Canada and Mexico. By the way, I think the tariff against Canada is not just about wanting to collect taxes from Canada. I think it's about wanting to have Canada join us. I think Trump wants Canada to join us. So this is his way of saying, look, you guys can't even exist properly without us. Like, if you can't sell us goods, look how bad that is for you. And I think that's his way of saying you guys belong as part of our country. As for Mexico, I think Trump's saying, why do you just keep letting people through? Stop it. He's going to say these tariffs stay on until you stop it. So I think that's his plan with those. Okay. I don't know what he does to the European Union. I think he's going to do the same thing over there. He's going to say whatever your tariff is, we'll match your tariff. That's probably what he should do. That's what any American president could have done. They could have said, if you do a tariff, we do a tariff. There we go. Okay, tariff, mister, you want a Valentine's gift? I'll just give it to chat if you don't want it. Oh, I want it. Elon stated things would have to get worse before they get better. If I have no income tax, I'm making bank, but many people will struggle so much. Dude, if I get no income tax, it's amazing. It's amazing if my income tax goes away. Because Karis is a software engineer and I'm a small business owner. So a small business owner pays taxes when he makes a sale, and he pays taxes again when he pays himself. I pay 2 taxes. Business tax on the income and then income tax on the income. It's insanity. I just pay just whopping amounts. And so if you just get rid of the income tax, and then Karis, again, she's a software engineer. She's not paid poorly. She gets out of her bracket as well. Oh my God, dude, it's going to be so good. But what's interesting is the average consumer does not benefit quite as much. So this is actually a tax that alleviates the tax burden on the middle class, but raises the tax burden on the poor. So that's what it would do. Because the price of simple consumer goods would presumably it would raise. And so they would not be able to benefit as much from getting out of the high tax brackets because they weren't in the high tax brackets. So the average consumer's not in those top, tax brackets paying higher rates. It's people who are in the middle class and the upper middle class. You would think it's a tax break for the ultra wealthy too. It's technically not. If you raise taxes on imports, like in other words, on the inventory that Walmart imports, that's Walmart paying a huge tax. So Walmart taxes would go up by like 25%. That's huge. That's like doubling the corporate tax. So businesses are paying almost a double tax now unless they produce goods in the United States, which they won't. They'll just keep doing it in China because they're worried about having to build a factory over here. So if China keeps importing, that's an extra 25% tax on Walmart. That's like a doubling of the corporate rate. That's crazy. And the other thing is, wealthy people, they don't pay a lot of taxes in the first place. The wealthy group, the billionaires, they live off of like a 15% capital gains tax, right? They have a sort of like capital gains tax and that's it. So the income tax doesn't really affect them. The only people who get saved in the income tax scenario are high-paid middle-class workers, doctors, engineers, lawyers. Those guys make bank if the income tax goes away. So it's a handout to the middle class is what it is. To the lowest class, the impoverished class, they already weren't really paying too much taxes. So it doesn't really benefit them too much. We are. All right. So it's a handout to the middle class, the upper middle class. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, they make out like bandits if the income tax go away. So technically, I'm supposed to be rooting for this. I'm supposed to be going, yeah, make it happen. Please. All right, there goes. Do you like Trump's cabinet picks? They all seem to be Trump loyalists. People who really, really, really appear to like him, supporters. This could lead to big, embarrassing disasters if they do their jobs wrong. So Trump's betting on them being competent. They're definitely loyal, but are they competent is a really important question. And this could end up with, well, if any of them flip, it could be a huge backstab. And if any of them are incompetent, it could be really embarrassing removing them later. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about them. It's time to question how much skill it takes to be a professional politician and to run these kind of, gigantic positions like Secretary of Defense, with the Pete Hegsworth guy or whatever. Yeah, time to figure out how much skill it actually takes to do that. Because people are beating up on Pete Hegsworth, a guy who actually served in the military, but they were just chill with Hillary Clinton playing that role. Like, she's a grandma. Why is she better than him? I don't get it. Like, what does she have that he doesn't have? The ability to speak better, maybe? I'm not sure. All right, so this is for our friend John Lucas. Yeah, people loved Hillary Clinton, I suppose, but Pete Hegsworth is a terrible choice, right? Like, I don't get it. What is the most important skill in this position that she had and he doesn't have? There we go. I think one of the things about these jobs is they might not be, they might not be like superhumans, these cabinet picks, ever, no matter who you pick. All right, John Lucas. Like, how do you go to school for Secretary of Defense, for example? It's like, it's one of those jobs where it's all skill. It's got nothing to do with like, oh, I opened up the right book and I read it. This particular book is what made me so good at this job. It's not like being an engineer. Engineer is really straightforward. You just know the mathematical equations. You just know the language. You just know how logic and functions work. That's it. But with like jobs like this, it's almost like at a level of creativity like an art. You know, you got to speak well, you got to manage well, you got to lead, and you got to make like really tricky choices. And you don't know if your choice is good or bad. All right, that's John Lucas. Well, John, let's go grab your cool kid cards. I love how smart Mr. is. I get to think about conversations like these while I also get to watch Rip and Shit. I actually enjoy these conversations enormously myself. All right, so let's see. John Lucas. Haha. Ooh. Yeah, so like if it becomes clear Trump's about to bring in a huge tariff on Japan, I'm going to go out and spend like a huge chunk on Japanese goods, particularly Pokemon, right? And that's going to mean that recent purchase is going to be so valuable because any product after that point is going to get hit with that tariff. See, so understanding these things are really important. Ooh. Oh my God. An out of 75 Rapunzel, that's pretty good. Here's Electra out of 50. Miss Bianca out of 28. Nice, dude. My name is Anime Rich, and I glaze Mister. Oh my God, dude. But Walmart has buying power too and can demand lower prices from suppliers. Yeah, they can kind of do that. Ultimately, it's a huge tax on Walmart and Walmart suppliers, an import tariff is. And they could try to pass that off to the consumer, but they can only do so much of that before the consumer says, I'm not buying that, the price is too high. That's called the supply-demand curve line. It's called the equilibrium, right? You can't just demand infinitely higher prices. There's a point where the consumer stops buying and your sales go down. And you go, oh man, I just have to accept less money on this item, less profit, because I can't get them to buy it at a higher price. And I'm not able to get it at a lower price as a inventory. So we'll see what happens. Should also make you think about your stock portfolio a little bit. Some companies are really good. Stuff happening in the United States, like tech stocks. Tech stocks are still good, but consumer goods stocks, maybe not so good. Walmart, Costco, Home Depot. Yeah, definitely Walmart. Walmart, they just import everything, man. Walmart's an importer. Home Depot, they might get some of their goods from local sources, but I bet not. I bet a lot of it actually is imported. That's been the trick for becoming a billionaire in America, by the way, guys. The trick for becoming a billionaire has been getting slave labor out of other countries and then importing it over here to America. So you get like some stupid Nike tennis shoe that you had produced for $1, and then when it gets here to America, you sell it for $99. That turns some people into billionaires because you and I just sit back and let them do that. We don't go direct to the source and buy. We let them import it and mark it up. All right. So the ultra wealthy, the billionaire class in America has consisted of like tech giants, but also these companies that specialize in importing garbage from other countries and then charging us like an insane profit margin. Here's Nidoran. Here's Venusaur. Here's Charizard. And here's COBRA. Buy NVIDIA. Yeah, hopefully NVIDIA's not in a bubble, right? Okay. Cha-ching, your monthly interest payment is here. I just got paid interest, guys. Wow, that's so nice. Okay, let me go look this guy up. He wants his tracking number still. How about that conversation? That's a fun conversation. The upcoming economy, what does it look like? I'm psyching. I keep telling myself I need to invest in the S&P 500, but I never do. I always put a little bit in because I'm scared of having all my money in just Pokemon cards. I think that's actually a risk. However, with that being said, now that Pokemon cards have exploded, I wish that more of it had just gone to Pokemon cards. All right, I found this guy. So I should be able to look him up. Hey, what's up, LaFlame? How's it going? You want to stay open for you, LaFlame? Did you want to open anything? Here. What can I get priced for you, LaFlame, that would get you excited? I want to know what gets LaFlame excited. All right. This is in transit. Okay. Good. All right, there it is. And then let's come back here. All right. Finish that Neo Discovery break. Haha. Mister, did you know Kash Patel wrote a Kiss song about how Trump got cheated in the last election? Oh, yeah. So he's like a Trump loyalist, you know. He's real crazy. That's why he got selected. Trump selected him just for that. No other reason. All right. Any update on the October submission? So PSA most recently announced to me that my grades are in for my latest, oldest submission. It was a 150 card submission. Man, I gotta say, the grading prices were a little bit better back then. It was like a special going on. And now instead of a special going on, we got to pay an extra like $1 per card. It all adds up. So now I just put out a submission today. Miss Alexis just shipped it up for us. And I got to say, man, it's so much more expensive. It was like an extra $600 or something like that. Jesus Christ. Oh, that reminds me. I need to update the Discord server over here in the submissions. But so my point is, yeah, so your submission from October is the one that PSA is officially working on. I'm sorry it's taking so long. I didn't realize that I had so many submissions out with PSA, but also I didn't realize how slow PSA was moving. They're really slow right now. And I think it's because all this Terrestrial Festival stuff, all this Surging Sparks, all the Prismatic, they started doing the GameStop mail-ins, right? GameStop started becoming like a mail-in place, and they definitely slowed it. They slowed down after GameStop for sure. So I think GameStop's probably giving them a lot of business, is my guess. So we are adding one more to the January submission, and it's going to say Isai Rivera Sylvian SIR. There you go. All right, that's in. CGC messing up is keeping PSA busy. Hey, you know, if CGC is receiving fewer orders as a result of their mess up, I think I might send a CGC submission out, right? Because what I wouldn't do, I would not buy a CGC playtest card, obviously. But let's say you knew CardConomist was sending in, I don't know, like authentic Topps cards to CGC. Well, that stuff's good. And if their system of grading cards is still solid, like pristine, still truly a pristine card, then I'm still going to buy it. I don't know about you guys. You guys might be mad at them. But like, if I see a good CGC 10 pristine, I'll buy it. Actually, I did the other day. I'll show you. So I'll buy it even if it's CGC, as long as it's pristine. So it does have to be pristine. If it's not pristine, I don't want it. CGC. All right. Do a quick search on that. All right, right here. So check it out. You can see some of my recent purchases. These are CGC cards. Look at this. I got a Typhlosion Dragon Frontiers Reverse Holo for $430. I was shocked. Pristine 10 on a Reverse Holo Dragon Frontiers Typhlosion. That should have said $1,000. That should have been an expensive card. I don't know why the sellers sold it so cheap, but if that's real, if that's, you know, if you, he underpriced that. He could have asked $800 easily. But it should be $1,000. And then here's that poker card. I had to negotiate hard on the poker card because it was originally $800. I negotiated it to $484. And then here's some 9.5s. The Totodile, the oh, look at that, partially refunded. So I bought a bunch of slabs from this guy. He actually gave me a nice little refund on shipping. But we got some nice reverse holos coming in. These will all turn into the Gem Mint 10s. All right. So just a couple CGC cards, but these are all purchased recently. January 27th. So this is while the issue is ongoing with CGC. So I'm not going to ignore CGC as if the cards are themselves are tainted. Like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to ignore the cards as if they're tainted themselves. But yeah, the playtest cards, stay away from those. Don't touch the playtest cards because for all you know, there's something wrong with them. But the rest of it, I'm going for it. hey, maybe I just take that Typhlosion and cross it into a PSA. I don't know. But I might not do that. I might try to sell them first. If nobody buys them, I'll just go send them in for the cross grade. Yeah, pristine 10. That should be easy. You're a trooper for going with CGC. I know, exactly. CGC, you got to understand trends and how to take advantage of trends. If the trend is to shit all over CGC right now, and CGC slabs are tanking in value right now, I'm going to be examining that not from the perspective of like, oh, how much does the brand bring, but is that card really a pristine? So assuming CGC is not getting tricked left and right all day long, assuming that card's authentic, and I think it is, and it's underpriced, like $400 for pristine Dragon Frontiers Typhlosion, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? That price is amazing. It really should be a higher price. And yeah, just being able to scoop it up at that price that's a flip. That's a huge flip. And so I was really happy with that. Let's see. Typhlosion. Maybe that's actually just the price of it. Maybe there's some Typhlosions going on. Yeah, so it looks like the PSA equivalent of the same Typhlosion is like $800. So here it is. PSA equivalent. They want $800. So, and that's before taxes, by the way. The price you saw me pay, that was after taxes. So I could ask the same price as the PSA 10 and price it around $800. And there'll be somebody out there who go like, yeah, maybe. Because really the pristine was always looked at as something that was harder to acquire than a PSA 10. I think with PSA's higher standards now, PSA 10 will start to be looked at as sort of like a pristine grade anyways. So maybe not all these, but any upcoming PSA 10, the later certs, the post-10 certs, see this is a 10. So certs after 10, you have to start thinking of them, in my opinion, like pristine 10s. Anything before that point where they hadn't made the change yet, the grading standard had already gotten pretty tough, though. I do have to say that. But you know, if they're tightening it even higher post 10, post cert 10, then that's really fascinating. I think you do have to look at them like pristines. And CGC 10s, if they're similar to a PSA pristine 10, because that's what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to call it Gem Mint. I'm going to call it a PSA pristine 10. You know, if those are similar, then yeah, I mean, I should be able to sell that Typhlosion for around $800 or cross it. And I think if you guys saw it crossed out of CGC into PSA, you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Playtest are the prototypes of the original Pokemon cards, Alpha, Beta, Zeta playtest cards, the starter Pokemon. Sonic 3 was getting a mobile port, but canceled. What if you bought a CGC play card and crossed it? No one's done that. Nobody's crossed it because PSA is rejecting them. Have you ever received fake slabs before? Yeah, I have. I've had that happen. I have a Mew card. I have a PSA Mew card that the certification number has been deactivated. See, so I have to try and get that fixed now. I've known about it for years. I bought it like 3 years ago. I just didn't want to fix it because I didn't want to grapple with the unfortunate scenario that maybe I have a card that I really loved that was actually perhaps fake. So I'm trying to get that fixed now. Actually, I sent PSA an email about it through their system. They just haven't responded. So they must have like a million. Maybe I need to call them or something. But I got to get that Mew fixed. So yeah, I mean, authentication is a struggle for all companies, I would say. And the problem with the CGC is they were too ambitious. They wanted to get those playtest cards and have their name on it instead of PSA's name on it. And in this case, I think some of the playtest cards were real, right? So people were able to check the ink scans with high quality images. On some of the cards, the dot matrix actually revealed they were printed in 1996. So here's what's fascinating about the scam going on at CGC. Some of the cards were real. See? So probably at the very beginning, CGC did do their due diligence, and they really authenticated real ones. And then after a certain point, they said, okay, the rest of these are probably real too. And then they got lazy. That's my bet. They probably got lazy later on. They didn't check each one. So later on, they're saying they're printed in 2024. Also, who was doing the printing? Was it the same guy who provided the original cards? Really interesting. But yeah, so it's a huge scandal. But CGC, the original ones were real. And they were too ambitious, and they didn't do their due diligence on the later cards, and now they're going to pay the price for that. And, you know, as long as CGC pays everyone out and doesn't keep making mistakes like this, I think they'll probably survive. I think they survive. Again, their parent company, NGC, is huge, the biggest coin grading company. They also own the comic grading and all this other stuff. They're probably going to be all right. But it's certainly a stain on their brand. And if I can get cheap CGC cards, I'll buy them. I'll take them. And if that slab can't cross over because PSA determines that it's a fake or some crazy stuff like that, you know, maybe I'll go to CGC and be like, all right, now give me my money for this card. Who knows? But yeah, it's a really interesting thing. And again, you have to understand the trend and ask yourself, how can I benefit from this trend? Just like what we were talking about with the tariffs, right? When we were talking tariffs, we were talking about how, okay, if product's going to get really expensive to import from Japan, well, then maybe I want to import a lot of it just before the tariff, right? See what I'm saying? So understanding those kind of things are a part of what helps you build wealth. Here we go. All right, Christian Whitfield says, can I get 15 hidden trials? Hidden trials. Oh, yeah, that's the Final Fantasy set. Cool. Where am I keeping hidden trials? Ah, here they are. 15 of them, huh? All right. Any lesser-known grading companies that are cheap to buy with their 10 has a good chance of remaining a 10? I heard there's this little company called TheCardconomist Grading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, you know, I looked at GMA Grading's website because I thought maybe I can take my weak 10s or my weak, oh, no, not my weak 10s, but my strong 9s. Maybe I can take all my strong 9s and send them off to GMA and try to get some of those to turn into 10s because their grading standard is different. And I go to their website and they literally cost more than CGC Grading. And I'm like, what? So, no, there's no point. There's no point. You think the little guys are cheaper, but they're kind of not. The little guys, they don't have the economy of scale. They don't have that. They don't have economy of scale at their business. So it's actually easier for bigger companies to offer you reduced prices because they have this big machine running with lots of people, lots of resources, very efficient, very, very efficient, latest technology, you know. So the little guys, they often can't do it. You think they would be cheaper because they're smaller, but they end up being more expensive, ironically. All right. Any lesser-known grading company? SGC graded the highest-selling sports car. Yeah, SGC is cool. SGC is a PSA company now, though. PSA bought them. Remember that? Really interesting. Maybe that's PSA's way of getting rid of their competition in a certain way. All right. GMA working hard in that no AC garage. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Here goes Christian Whitfield going after the signature lightning card from Final Fantasy. I got a fresh case of this, by the way, guys. So we have so much of this hidden trials. You can give it a shot. Try to get that signature card to pop out. There's Queen. Here's Golbez. Here's Emmett Selch. What's your eBay? My eBay's TheCardconomist. Yeah, don't you think? Yeah, it's the same. My Instagram is TheCardconomist. My TikTok is TheCardconomist. My Facebook page is TheGameconomist. Our Discord server is called TheCardconomist. Here's Vincent Fullard. So, yeah, you can just go look and you'll find me on all the platforms by the same name. What do I think about Tag Grading? Well, Tag Grading is a pop-up grading company, right? So they just started a couple years ago. So be careful about that. They just started a couple years ago. I think they're a great example that having a pretty looking case can really sell your product. So they came out with a clear case with very pretty letters coming through and sort of minimalism style. And I think that's really all that matters. I don't think people care all that much about all the other details. I think they just care about it looking nice, and that's it. That's what really draws attention. So it shows the importance of like a really good design on your slab case. All right. Very good. If you have a blue shell in first, would you use it or save it? Oh, in Mario Kart, I would let one guy get ahead of me. If we're in the second to last round, I'd let one guy get ahead of me and then I'd fire it the moment he passes. And make sure you have a wide sort of like distance from him so you don't get splash damaged. Christian Whitfield, and then I'd drive past him like a troll. All right, Christian Whitfield, let's go find your bag. No, but you know, to answer that question more appropriately, I guess you'd have to know. You'd have to know more about the current scores to understand what are the risks of letting the guy who's in second place getting into first. Because if you can come into third place, but the guy you don't like comes in like fifth or sixth, that can still allow you to win depending on your score in the game. So it'd really depend on what everyone's score is looking like. Yo, this bag's old, man. You got to ship this soon. All right. Ship it by 5/25, okay? All right. Give me some build advice like old times. You're going to want to go with... All right. Speaking of build advice, it's almost February. So it's almost time for that Monster Hunter to come out, and I'm so not ready for that. I am not ready for Monster Hunter. All right, guys, we've been live for an hour and 15 minutes, and I just cleared the queue. Fun, if not controversial, conversations today about Donald Trump, tariff, and cabinet picks. I hope you guys had a fun time in our short daytime stream. We'll be back on for the late night stream, presumably. Karis's parents are over right now, so I'm probably just going to go hang out with them now. Okay, guys? I use drifting in Mario Kart. Would you ever decide to fight in the Costco battle for Pokemon just to test your might? Nah, I'll let somebody else do that, somebody younger. All right, guys, I had a lot of fun. See you later, everybody. See you tonight. See you tonight.